come into your mat, come into sit, however's comfortable for you. Legs crossed, legs could be out in front. We'll sit for a moment, do a little bit of breathing, and then start to move through a little sequence to create a bit of flexibility in the body. As with everything, watch what you're unsure of, make sure it feels right in your body, that it feels like it's working for you, and don't overdo it. So we're not doing a long practice here, so don't force any of the stretches, don't really pull hard or push into them much. This is just about getting a little bit going. If you did want to increase the flexibility, you could go through it a couple of times. And as you get warmer, move into the muscles a little bit more. But take it easy. Okay, so sitting nice and tall on a block or a cushion if you feel the need. You could have one leg forward, both legs forward, whatever works for you. And we're just looking to settle into our space here, become a little still before we start. And as you sit, bring your attention a little bit closer to yourself. Notice where you are, notice just you being. And we're going to take 5 nice equal breaths in and out through the nose if we can. So when you're ready, inhale through the nose and exhale out through the nose. Inhale, sitting tall, chest expands. And as you exhale, the lower tummy draws in, the chest draws back, the shoulders soften. Inhale and exhale. Again, inhale and exhale. Trying to make an equal inhale to exhale. Inhale and exhale. Okay, starting to move now. Continuing with that equal breath. Inhale, reaching the arms up. And exhale, allowing them to sink down. And again, tuck the chin in a bit. And then as you reach up, maybe you want to glance up. Exhale, releasing it down. And dropping the face to look down again. Inhale, reach up, either looking forward, or if it's okay for your neck, you can look up. And exhale, bringing it back down. Okay, so bringing the hands in front of the chest, elbows are down, hands are interlaced. And then as you inhale, take a big inhale, press the hands down and away and reach up. And then exhale, releasing the hands down. Inhale, keep inhaling, big inhale, exhale, releasing it down. And again, inhale, exhale, release. Okay, from here, reach over with one hand up onto the fingertips. Inhale, sweeping the opposite hand up, reach through the arm nice and straight, and then maybe you're sinking over to that side a little bit. Taking another inhale here. And exhale. And come back to center. Reaching over the other way. Reach with the fingertips, keeping the tummy and the ribs drawn in. Inhale, reaching up with the opposite hand. And then exhale, maybe sinking into that side a little bit more, trying to keep the right hip down. Reaching with the arm, straightening the arm, reach through the fingertips. And coming back to sit. We're going to just take a little twist here. So taking one hand to the shin in front, take the other hand behind and look to the side. So think about spiraling round through the length of the body. No force, we're just moving slightly. And release to the front, taking one hand in front, one hand maybe to the side or behind. Inhale, lift through the ribs and spiral round. Maybe you can look behind. But again, you don't need to force anything. Okay, release to the front. I'm going to come onto your knees. Do one little thing on the knees. So tuck in the toes underneath. Coming to sit on your heels. You're going to inhale, lift the chest, draw the tummy in, exhale, round the back as you reach forward. Inhale, pressing the hands back. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, coming forward, length through the front. Exhale, round the back, reaching forward. Last time, inhale. Maybe lifting the gaze. Exhale, round in the back and sinking down. Come off your toes. You may be feeling them burn. Cross the feet behind, and we're going to sit down. Okay, we're going to do more than sit down. We're going to lie down. Okay, lying down on your back, carefully coming down to rest, and pull both knees into your chest and give them quite a bit of a squeeze. You'll feel your bottom come up off the floor, tummy's drawn in, shoulders are down. So we're just looking to increase the movement here. So just go easy on yourself, taking the left foot down to the floor, either keeping that knee bent, or if you know you can straighten that leg out and keep this knee squeezing in as tightly as you can and pushing the left foot down. And then if you wish, you can straighten up that right leg, lifting the toes towards the ceiling, holding on to the back of the thigh if you can, and keeping it drawing closer to you. We're going to inhale, pushing the tummy down towards the floor as you lift up. It's an extra. You don't have to do the lift up. And really sit down. Draw that leg in a little bit closer. And then bend the knee if it's straight and release. So this whole exercise can be done with that leg bent. Bring the left leg in. So squeezing the knee into the chest. Right foot pushing into the mat. Keeping the lower back pushing down into the mat as well. If you wish, you can bring that leg long, pushing the heel towards the floor. And then if you wish, either just holding on to the back of the thigh and keeping the knee bent, or you're straightening the leg, reaching the toes towards the ceiling, drawing that leg a little bit closer. And if you want to make this a bit harder again, you're drawing the tummy in, pushing the lower back to the floor and reaching yourself up towards that leg. Again, just work on what works for you. And release it down, bend the knee, bring it back in. Bring both knees in, and we're going to rock 3 times and then come up to sit. So make yourself into a nice little ball, make yourself round, and we're going to roll forwards and back. And on the 3rd time, you're going to come up, and we're going to cross the feet, come all the way over onto our hands and knees. Okay. So you crawl back on the mat. Bring your knees really wide, toes to touch, and you're going to sink back towards your heels as much as possible. And I want you to give it a little wiggle. So depending on your body, you might be able to sink back quite a bit. Some people, yeah, not so much, depending on how tight the back and the hips are. So if you can, you're going to come onto the elbows, keeping the gaze down and keeping a nice steady breath, same as we started with. Those of you that can come a bit deeper can lie down towards the mat. Take a nice steady inhale and steady exhale. Press into the hands, walk the hands back in, and bring the knees back underneath the body, coming back into, not back, we haven't been here yet, into our tabletop position. So from here, we're going to come into our puppy dog, which is when we stretch the arms forward, keep the hips high above the knees, bring the thumbs to touch, and drop the head between the arms, and reaching the hips a little further back, drawing the tummy in, trying to create a little bit of length here, as much length as you can. And keeping steady with your breath. So lift the gaze up a little and move both hands towards the left. And maybe you're going to put the right hand on top of the left and then sink down into that again. So this extends the stretch down one side. And those of you that are really flexible, you can maybe come into a bit of a back bend here, or keep the ribs and the tummy pulled in and up, pushing the hips back to stretch more into the back rather than the front of the body. Walking the hands round towards the right now, bringing the left hand onto the top of the right hand, and then sinking the hips back, drawing the tummy in, sink the head down to rest on the arms, and still breathe. Walking the hands back in, and we're going to come forward with one foot. So you're going to bring the right knee up, bringing the foot to the outside of the right hand. And we're just going to rock forward and back. So if you've got the space to do this with the fingertips still on the mat, keep your hands down, fingertips down. If that feels really quite tight for you, bring the hands up to be on the hips and go into the rocking back and forth in an upright position. Those of you that are lower down and have got this space here, you're just going to play around with this, so feel the depth of the stretch as you come forward, and maybe bringing that front leg straight as you come back, maybe pushing into the heel. So it's a slight angle as we rock. If you need to, if you get tight in the knees, maybe put a rug or a blanket underneath the left knee. And this time we're going to hold to the back, so the hips are above the back knee, fingertips are still on the mat as you're bringing yourself forward and front leg straight. Head can be dropped. It's like a half runner stretch. From here, we're going to come forward into what's known as a lizard or a half lizard pose. So bringing the knee above the ankle, coming to rest the hands, the weight into the hands, shoulders above the wrists, and this back leg is maybe easing back a little bit further. Thinking about hips forward, gaze is forward and down to the mat, and you're breathing nice and long there. Those of you who can come a bit deeper, can bring the elbows to the mat, knee pushing into the shoulder. But if yoga's new to you, that might be way too far. So remember, don't push or force any of these moves. Okay, sweeping that leg back and just sink back to the heels a little bit. We're going to just take a couple of big circles, so moving the body over to the side, coming forward and round into the hips. Okay, coming forward with the left foot this time, next to the left hand, up on the fingertips here, or you could be resting the hand onto the top of the thigh, and we're sinking forward. So unlike the lunges we did earlier in the week when it was all, I was saying to keep everything up and going forward, this time we are kind of hanging down into there a little bit. Rocking back, straightening up this front leg, don't push on the kneecap. Inhale, coming forward. Exhale, rocking it back, maybe picking up the toes as you come back. So the thing with flexibility stretches is, needs to feel right in your body. So I can give you options, I can give you little things to try, but until you've tried them out, you're not going to know what works and what doesn't. So holding to the back this time, the hips are above the back knee, left leg is towards straight, there's still a micro bend in the knee, maybe reaching the arms further forward, dropping the head down, bring it into almost like a forward fold. The foot can be pressed down into the point position, or you could have the foot flexed. It's up to you. Changes the stretch. Bringing the weight forward over that, knees over the ankle. The knee's still tracking in towards the middle, although we've got it at an angle going out towards the side. Trying to let it collapse out to the side, that's a different thing altogether. And bringing the chest a little bit further forward as you try to slide that back leg back a little bit further. Obviously, if you're upright, you're bringing the hand above the knee and thinking hips forward and then maybe a little down. Those of you that can come a little bit deeper into this lizard style pose, you're thinking chest forward, knee pushing into the shoulder as you sink in to that space. Okay, bringing the hands back underneath, bring that leg back beside the other. We're going to pop up into a downward facing dog. Tuck the toes, reaching the hips back and up, and pedaling into the feet a little bit.
And maybe settle the heels towards the mat, drawing the tummy in and looking back. We're going to take a few moves here. So inhale, round the back, bring the weight forward over the wrists, and exhale, sinking it back. Inhale, bringing it forward. Exhale, sinking it back. Last time, inhale, bringing it forward. Exhale, sinking it back. Looking back towards the knees. We're going to walk the feet forward to the middle of the mat, taking the feet really quite wide, drawing the tummy in, and allowing yourself to hang forward and down. So the fingertips could be on the mat, you could be rocking side to side. It's a nice way to move the weight into the back of the legs. Take hold of the elbows and allow yourself to fold a little bit deeper. So if your forward fold is not nearly as deep, don't worry about it. Think about length in the back. Think about lifting the pelvis, back of the pelvis, backing up, and then trying to lengthen through the legs. Doesn't matter if they ever come to straight. We're working on your flexibility, not mine. Okay, from here, pushing into the heels, drawing the tummy in, and come all the way up to stand. Okay, going to go through one little one little set of moves as we're standing, and then we'll come back down to the mat. Okay, so from the front of the mat, we just did our forward fold. We're going to step out with the right foot to the side, bringing the outside of the feet parallel, coming into our triangle pose, reaching the arms away, turn the right foot and hip out so the whole leg turns to the right, draw the tummy in, then start reaching towards that right side. And then as you get to a point you can go no further, allow yourself to bring the hand to rest on the thigh, on the shin. This top arm is reaching up. So you start to feel the stretch here. Think about moving that hip towards the front of the mat. Maybe you can take this arm and reach overhead. Bend that knee, sweeping yourself all the way back up, and turn the leg in. Turn the left leg out, and then try and square up to the side of the mat again. Reach through the hands, so really spread across the chest, and then reaching towards that left side. Bringing the hand to rest on the thigh, the shin, top arm stretching away. If that feels uncomfortable for you, you can allow the arm to rest on the side of the body. You can look to the mat if that feels better for your neck. Again, those that wish to make a bit more length in the side, you could reach that arm forward. And then inhale, reaching it back up, and exhale there. I'm going to take one wide leg forward fold. So bringing the hands to the hips. Take your hands to the floor if that feels more comfortable for you. Or those of you that feel quite balanced, draw the tummy in, lift the chest from the hips, go forward and down. Gaze is towards the floor, so this might be deep enough for you. Think about bringing the weight forward over the feet, or maybe you're going to squeeze a little bit further down. And try and just steady the breath here. If you do feel unstable, you might want to bring the fingertips to the floor or bring the hands to the floor. Reach and crown of the head down. Inhale, lift the chest, soften the knees, hands to the waist, and come all the way up to stand. And from here, we're going to heel toe the feet in a little bit, and we're going to squat down. So taking the fingertips to the floor, come up, allow yourself to come up onto your toes, and we're just going to rock a little bit over to each side, a little bit like a frog, and then come to sit. So carefully bring the hands behind and allow yourself to sit. Okay. So just to finish off, I want to do two little moves on the mat before we finish. So bring in the right foot to rest on top of the left knee, just above the left knee on the thigh. Bring the hands behind. You can rest onto the palms or you could be on the fingertips, and bring that left foot up to stand. And then think about lifting the chest. So depending on your lower back and your hip, this might be too far for some of you. So maybe keep it down and think about lifting the chest. Think about sitting forward by pushing with the fingertips. Those of you that can take it a little bit further, you're thinking about bringing the chest towards that shin of the right leg that's in front. Keeping the right foot flexed and balanced on the top of the leg. And release. Swapping sides, taking the left foot to sit on top of the right thigh, just above the knee, then bringing that right foot up to stand, and think about drawing the tummy in and sitting tall. Those of you really feeling it, maybe into the hips, into this, just outside the glutes here, right on the outside. You like to rock a little bit. It's a version of pigeon. And then sinking back into the hands, allow your legs to release. I'm going to come onto our back. Last little thing, carefully rolling down. And squeeze both knees into the chest. Same as we did at the start, give them a squeeze so they're coming to touch the ribs if you can, allowing yourself to rock side to side on the lower back so you're getting a little bit of a massage just at the top of the pelvis. And then you can bring your knees wide and either keep holding on to the front of the shins here, bringing the knees down the outside of your body. You might still be quite elevated, that's okay. You're just looking to increase your range of movement. Or you're going to flex the feet, bring the arms between the knees, reach up and hold on the outside of the feet, and then sink back down. So this is called Happy Baby. So if you've never done yoga before, this one might be totally new for you. If you've ever had a baby before, you'll have seen this done. Maybe not by yourself. And again, it's a really nice one to keep wiggling and rolling and just rocking into the hips area. Okay, release the feet, bring the legs back together and allow them to sink down to the floor. And I'm going to let you rest here lying down. Bring the feet out as wide as your mat, or almost. Bring the knees to touch. Tummy is drawn in, lower back's pushing into the floor. Arms are released to your side. And you're going to take a couple of nice deep breaths here. Taking a big inhale through the nose. And exhale. Sigh and let go. Taking a deep inhale. And exhale to release.